welcome to a very special episode number 50 of the Casual Movie Club. We are here for number 50, ladies and gentlemen. 50, and by we, I mean me. It's John, your pal, and of course, I couldn't do this without my good friend, Brian.
Hey,
how are you?
I'm good. What's happening, buddy?
Oh, you know, I'm first of all, I just want to say, man, I want to congratulate you.
Oh, on what?
50 episodes of the Casual Movie Club.
Congratulations are in order.
Congratulations.
All around.
Absolutely. So I'm thrilled that we have made it this far. You know,
Has it been a year?
I think so.
We have to do the math, but I think it's been about a year because 52 weeks, and I know we've taken a couple weeks off here and there between seasons, so it's got to be more than a year at this point.
Yeah, I mean, for me to look back on when our first episode was, that would require that which we do not do, which is internet research.
Fact checking.
Right, so...
don't do it.
No, since we don't do that, not on the podcast at least, maybe off the podcast, I can neither confirm nor deny that we do internet research, but... We've been doing this for a while, so super thrilled to be hitting this milestone of 50 episodes. So, Brian, cheers to 50. Absolutely. I will drink to that.
Cheers to that.
Absolutely. And being that our 50th episode is occurring mid-December 2019, what better movie to usher in this milestone with and end our current season of Casual Movie Club. Now, don't despair. I can hear some folks out there going, "Aww." Don't worry, because we have a special that's coming your way on January 9th, 2020. We're going to be back on January... when are we coming back? So January 20th?
Yeah, something like that.
So sometime in January of 2020, we'll be back.
We will be back.
We will be back.
Like the Terminator.
That's right.
We will be back.
That's right. So we're taking a little break for Christmas, but we are doing one of the quintessential absolute Christmas classic movies, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Yes.
Quite possibly, and I don't know if I speak for you, but I can say that this is quite possibly my favorite Christmas movie.
Sure. Did you see my poker face?
To be honest, I wasn't even paying attention.
You weren't even paying attention. I was working hard on my poker face.
I was enjoying the movie far too much.
It was a good, and it's a good movie.
Yeah, I don't think I heard you laugh though. I know I laughed.
I laughed a few times, but I did stifle some laughs trying to maintain the poker face.
Yeah.
But I did enjoy the movie immensely.
I loved it. I absolutely love it. Every time I watch this movie, I just absolutely love it.
So how many times have you seen this movie? Can you ballpark it at all? Can you put a number to it?
I'm going to say at least 20.
At least 20.
Yeah. Because over my many years of life, this is a movie just kind of like Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. It's a movie that comes with the season. When we hit the Christmas season, this movie kind of comes out of the woodwork and is just sort of a staple of the season, if you will.
Sure.
It's one that my family and I have kind of always watched around this time of year. And what about you? I mean, is this a movie that you've seen, and how many times have you seen this movie?
Less than 6, less than 5.
Really?
Yes, I have not seen this very often. My family and I don't really have Christmas movies that we watch every year. There was like the Disney ones, which you can now see thanks to Disney Plus.
Yes.
The Mickey's Christmas Carol and the old Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the claymation one.
Oh yeah,
those kinds of things. But we didn't have like Christmas traditions, Christmas movies that we watched year after year. That wasn't a thing in our household.
Okay.
But I like this movie. I've seen it a few times, and I enjoy it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a good movie.
Yeah, I adore this movie.
Yes.
I absolutely adore this movie. So much so that one of my scores, little mini minor preview, I do have a 5 in my scores for this movie.
Mini preview for me. Yep. There are no 5s.
Okay, that's fine.
There may be a one or two here or there. I'm joking. Look at your face. Oh,
this is not a 1 or 2 movie.
No, it's not.
No. So one of the things I've got to, would it be okay if we start with my things to ask Brian?
Yeah, sure. I've got a couple things to ask you.
Ooh.
I mean, not very many, but let's just let's get yours out of the way, and let's just go from there.
Right on. And so it's clear we both like the movie.
Yes.
Great. Awesome. So have you ever had a Christmas that was anything like what happened in this movie?
Never. The closest thing to it was probably the story I told last week regarding my mishap with wrapping presents while under the influence.
Ah, yes.
While still drinking. Yeah.
And not quite remembering where the restroom was.
Exactly.
Yeah. That was funny.
It's one thing to like walk into a room and think that you're peeing. It's quite another to just stand in a doorway and just oh, here's the toilet. It's just, it's ridiculous. I can't believe that happened to me. I mean, I can believe it happened to me, but yeah.
It's one of those things that just makes for a memory that's going to last forever.
Yeah.
You're never going to live down.
Yeah. I mean, my parents have never brought it up to me ever again. It's always me.
I think they will.
It's me
at some point.
No, it's usually me bringing it up because it's like trying to lighten the mood, trying to bring a fun story out, and again, wasn't fun at the time, but it's more fun now.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, there's a big bleach stain. Thankfully, my parents moved out of that house, and.
Do you have pictures of the
Of
carpet?
course not. No, of course not.
Oh, man.
My parents did not want to memorialize that at all. It was embarrassing for everybody.
Embarrassing in the moment, but funny as hell.
Yeah, it's funny now.
Okay, all right. So you never had a Christmas that came close to what was in the movie?
Not even close. Not even close. There's no chaos in my household. Even friends, girlfriends, my wife that I visited now, they don't. There's never been anything like that.
Yeah,
nothing close.
Okay, and then on that same kind of front, do you like, the idea of a Christmas where relatives come in from out of town and kind of everybody stays together in the same house? Is that something that you would like to do? Now as an adult, would you want to host Christmas where, lots of family members come in, everybody stays with you, and you've got people staying with you for 2 weeks or whatever? Does that idea sound good to you, or do you like the idea of people coming and visiting and staying in town, but staying in a hotel and then coming to visit, maybe a couple of days during that Christmas season? What type of, how would you want to spend Christmas, now as an adult?
Alone.
Oh, goodness.
Well, see, I typically don't like hosting multi-day events. It's not. I'm not comfortable with that.
Okay.
My wife is a great hostess.
Yeah.
Is
she the hostess with the mostest?
You could say that. Yes.
I did say that. The question is, would you say that?
I would say that about her, yes. I would describe her as such.
Okay, awesome.
We've had people come over and family stay with us and friends stay with us for multi-days and things like that, but it's not beyond parents or a couple of friends or anything like that. It's one-day parties or one-evening parties are enough for me, but
okay.
I enjoy... As I've gotten older, I do enjoy family more and more. But my younger years, as recent as 5-10 years ago, I was not really about it. I'd prefer a quieter Christmas with friends.
Sure. So if I'm understanding you correctly, you'd kind of be like a one-day celebration type of thing instead of a staying over multiple day type of celebration.
One day is ideal for me. Yeah. However, if I'm the one visiting then I'm good for about 2-3 days tops, and then I want to get out or I want to move on.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it seems like I'm extroverted in this podcast and maybe in our friendship, but I'm very, very introverted in the sense that I gain a lot of my energy from being alone.
Sure. And I completely respect that. And if I may, if I were to answer this question, I would definitely be staying at a hotel because let's say I was a guest, for Christmas. I always, when I visit family and friends, I always stay in a hotel. I get a rental car, I am someone who values and appreciates and I guess in a way needs my own independence.
Yeah.
So spending a few days staying as a guest in someone's house, while I would be extremely, extremely humbled and very appreciative of an offer that someone would make, it is not something that I would be comfortable doing.
Yeah, I'm always grateful for people opening up their home to me. And this upcoming holiday, this is our last episode. At the end of this week, I'm traveling out to visit family and friends.
Oh, nice.
And I will be staying in hotels for some of the trip, but for a majority of the trip, I will be staying with family.
Nice.
And I'm grateful for that.
Yeah.
But I always feel like I'm imposing.
Yeah, same here.
Always. I don't like that.
And I'm very grateful when because my brother and his wife always tell me, oh, if you can stay with us and blah blah blah. I want to make it known. And I hope they listen to this. I am appreciative and very grateful and humbled by the offer and the invitation. But as much as they say, oh, it's no imposition, and this they meaning anybody, it's always an imposition because it's a change to their normal routine. Mm-hmm. So someone new staying in the house for a day, 2 days, 3 days, in some way, it's still an imposition.
Yeah, and after that,
and I don't want to be that.
Yeah, after that third day, I'm like, wake up in the morning, like, you're still here?
Yeah, and I like the freedom of being able to say, okay, I've kind of mentally to myself, I've had my fill for the day. I'm going to go back to my hotel, relax, go for a swim, because when I travel, I always try to stay in a hotel with an indoor pool because I love swimming and I love to do that. And it's a form of relaxation and form of exercise for me. So, I'll always say how I'm going to go back to my hotel. I'm going to relax for a bit, go for a swim, and just kind of mellow out for the evening. That is a way that, kind of like you said before, I like to recharge.
Yeah.
And I think I'm kind of an extroverted introvert or an introverted extrovert, because I like being around people, but I also don't like being the center of attention, and I don't necessarily get my energy from being in groups of people.
Yeah. How long because I know Clark's family trickled in like slowly. Yeah. But like, how long were they there?
We were
how long were they there though? Because I want to
say like 3 or 4 days.
The Advent calendar kind of measured it, and I thought it started on the 12th.
It may have, but to be honest with you, I didn't take.
I don't remember either.
I didn't take as much notice, or I didn't notice it when they started arriving and everything. But that's a good point. They were dedefinitely there for
a week at least.
Yeah, or maybe we'll call it a couple of days.
Because it ends on Christmas Eve,
right,
the 24th.
It ends on Christmas Eve. So we'll say they're there from the 20th. We'll just say the 20th.
No, they were there from at least the 18th, because I remember the 18th little door being open, and probably before the 18th.
Okay, so maybe a week before. So we'll say the 17th. A week before Christmas Eve?
Sure.
Okay, so that's a long time.
Still a long time.
That's a very long time.
So it starts with the parents, respective parents showing up.
Right.
And then it's Cousin Eddie and his kids. And then
Aunt Bethany.
It's Aunt Bethany and her husband, Uncle Lewis. Were there more?
No, that was it.
That was it?
Yeah.
That's like 1, 2, 3, 4.
That's like
5,
15 people,
6,
right?
7, 8, 9, 10. 10 guests, and then Clark, Ellen, Russ, and Audrey. So that's 14 people.
Right. So
under one house.
Right.
Fuck.
That's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people. And then a surprise cat.
Right.
And a surprise dog.
Right. And I mean,
the surprise cat.
But weren't Ruby Sue and what was it Rocco or
Rocky?
Weren't they staying in their RV?
They were staying in the RV. Yes.
Okay. So
the kids stayed in the house.
Oh, that's right.
Cousin Eddie and
that's right.
Catherine needed some alone time in the RV
with the rubber sheets.
Oh my God, and the ball gags.
Right. So they were in the RV, but you figure that's 13 people in a house.
That's crazy. That's everybody insane. Bunking up. Ugh,
yeah.
Sleeping in the same room.
Oh God. Did you ever have to do that as a kid?
All those smells.
Did you ever have to do that as a kid?
No. As a kid, even in my late teens, we never stayed over at family's house. When we went to events, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter, what have you, it was always like we're there for the afternoon, or we're there for the morning, we're there for the evening, and then we're out of there. Right.
Yeah, it was the same with me. I mean, I remember I stayed at my aunt's house a couple times when I was a kid, but it was never over Christmas and everything. We always spent Christmas at home. And it was always that kind of thing where people would come for the day or come for a few hours and then left, and we were always at home. So,
yeah,
I have nothing but respect for people that want to play that host role and everything, but I couldn't do it.
Yeah,
I couldn't do it.
Have you ever gone Christmas tree shopping or Christmas tree hunting or anything like that?
We had I'll never forget this. We had I lived in two houses during most of my child life. We were in a fairly large kind of contemporary styled house when I was in my younger years from, I'm probably going to butcher this, but I'll say like age 6 or 7 to 15 or 16.
Okay.
And we had maybe like 13 or 14, but we had 12-foot, we had a room with like 16-foot ceilings. It was a huge room that we had an artificial Christmas tree there. And my brother and I would always have to bring up the Christmas tree in this box from the basement. And it was so heavy and so unwieldy to bring up. And my brother and I, every single year, like clockwork, would get into an argument while trying to bring the tree up the stairs, and then, my mom would always like build the tree and trim it because, my brother and I would get so sick of each other during the process of bringing the tree up the stairs. We would hide in our rooms for like 3 hours while we cooled off, and then we'd come down and the tree was built because my mom is like, I'm just going to do this myself.
Right.
And we would do that for a number of years. And then when we lived in our second house, which was smaller, we had a smaller tree that kind of had the same thing, and we sort of helped trim it, with our mom and everything as we got older, but we, it was, I'll never forget those Christmases.
Yeah, I've never had a real tree in my house.
Always been artificial.
Ever. Me, yeah. Always artificial growing up. Yeah. And even now, my wife loves Christmas.
Yeah.
And she's actually brought me more into the Christmas spirit than
That's cool.
I've ever been. But we have 3 Christmas trees in our house at the moment. There's one in the living room.
3?
It's a 9-foot Christmas tree in our living room.
Real or fake?
All fake. All fake.
Okay.
There's a 6-foot Christmas tree in our kitchen, and there's a 3-foot Christmas tree on a ledge up in the hallway outside of our bedroom.
Okay.
And it's nice. I really like it. It's cool. I've never really had that many Christmas trees before, and it really, you would think that it would just crowd every room, but it works.
Yeah,
I like it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So I have one other question to ask Brian. So when everybody's getting ready to leave on Christmas Eve because everything's kind of going to shit, would you have left or would you have stayed?
Oh, I would have stayed. Is this shit show going to get any more out of control? I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Like the tree burned down, the cat died, the fucking uncle almost caught on fire. The fucking turkey. What was up with that turkey?
That wasn't even a turkey. It had to have been.
It looked
some
amazing.
Kind of
it looked amazing, and then he cut into it, and it just it looked.
Yeah, it deflated.
And it was dusty inside.
Oh yeah.
What the fuck?
I totally would have stayed to see how much worse it could have gotten because I know I wouldn't have been able to get a hotel room that night.
Yeah, we don't know where they're visiting from.
Or presumably I would have had a hotel room already. I would have had a hotel room already, so I definitely would have stayed around to see
probably.
however much shit would go down.
Yeah.
Those are the only things I had to ask Brian. I do have something I want to talk about, but I'll get into that in a bit. So what? I don't want to monopolize the control here.
Well, we talked about Christmas tree already. There you go. There it is.
That was good.
Have you ever driven for long distances for Christmas?
No.
You never sang Christmas carols in a car on a road trip.
No. What about you?
No, never. Who does that? I've never even sang.
Clark W. Griswold.
I've never sang with my family or with friends or significant others.
Driving to and from church, maybe one year we might have sang a little bit on the way back, but I mean, it wasn't anything where like we were all singing together. It was like my mom might have started singing and then, she just sang by herself. My mom loved to sing. So, she was a great singer too. But that might have been it. It was never like this orchestrated family singing.
Yeah, I mean, I've played games before on long road trips. My brother and sister-in-law and their kids on the way to Thanksgiving this year, they were playing this game where you had to see restaurants and then name them out in alphabetical order as they were driving. So
that's interesting.
And that's similar to the license plate game. You say, there's a license plate from Alabama. Oh, there's one from Delaware.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a license plate from Georgia. So you go through the all 50 states on the way.
So like, there's an Arby's. Oh, there's a B something. There's a Cracker Barrel. There's a Denny's. There's interesting.
Yeah, and cool. Brother-in-law won the game by somebody found an X restaurant and then somebody else found a Y restaurant. It's like, there's no way. The game's over. We're not going to find a Z restaurant. He found a Z restaurant on the way in.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Zorba's, a Greek restaurant.
Something like that. Yeah, something like that.
You know who was involved in this movie?
Betty Boop?
No.
Who?
John Hughes.
Oh, John Hughes. Yeah, he wrote and produced this.
The third movie on this podcast in a month that has had John Hughes involved in it. He wrote this movie, and I think this was comedic gold.
Yeah,
absolute comedic gold.
We gotta do Ferris Bueller and 16 Candles.
Yeah. We gotta do a salute to John Hughes.
I think this is the salute to John Hughes. Maybe. Planes, Trains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so cool. I mean, I saw him as a writing credit, and I'm like, I could totally smell the John Hughes on here.
Yeah, definitely. He wrote and produced this, and this was apparently based off of an article that he wrote for Mad Magazine, or not Mad Magazine, National Lampoon Magazine. Yeah.
Awesome.
Prolific writer, John Hughes.
Prolific person.
Yes.
Because he's written, he's directed, he's produced. He's been involved in so many iconic classic movies that he is an institution in and of himself.
Unto himself, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. I'm a big fan of a lot of the gags in this movie, a lot of the physical humor. Chevy Chase is amazing at physical humor by himself. The tree sap thing in the beginning, after he gets the tree, they're in bed, and he's unintentionally tearing off pages in the People magazine that he's reading, and then he accidentally gets his fingers caught in Ellen's hair, and she's just kind of rolling with it like, ugh. And then at the same time, he has the lamp stuck to his hand. The tree sap gag was one of my favorites in the movie.
So good. I have a question, though.
Yeah.
Their car. Mm-hmm. Did it have wood paneling the entire time?
Couldn't tell because it was very, very muddy.
Because I noticed in the very beginning when they were going to get the Christmas tree, and then when Chevy Chase and his son Rusty were coming out of the garage and the car is parked in the garage, you could see the clear wood paneling on there, which I think was a throwback to the original National Lampoon's Vacation and the whatever family truckster.
Yeah.
The original station wagon with the wood paneling. I think their Ford Taurus with the wood paneling was a throwback to that. I don't know if the IMDb trivia mentioned that, but I have a feeling, I don't think they had the wood paneling on the car when they were going to get the tree, but I could be wrong about that.
Yeah, I didn't notice it because I was looking for it. I was like, oh, that's a station wagon. That's not their station wagon.
Yeah.
And it was all muddy, so you couldn't really tell. But then, like, the dad earlier said, oh, when they left, when Clark was locked in the attic, oh, you got a second car. He can drive himself if he wants to meet us for shopping and lunch.
Yeah.
So they took that same car out, but the second car was probably in the garage or parked somewhere else. We just didn't see it.
Right. And interestingly enough, I was looking at the IMDb trivia, and that was mentioned in the IMDb trivia. It was actually mentioned that you never see the second car.
Oh.
But in the original National Lampoon's Vacation, you see like a Volvo station wagon, I think, as their other car.
Yeah, I don't know what their cars are at all. I just know like station wagon, four-door sedan.
Yeah.
That's all I really know that they have.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to call this out during the numbers because I'm just looking at some of my notes here.
Sure.
What kind of a fire hazard was all those lights and how he had them all plugged in?
Oh, my God. Like the...
Massive fire hazard.
I'm surprised the house didn't burn down.
Right, or
all of those outlets, like he had extension cords plugged into extension cords, plugged into extension cords.
Which I can allow that to a degree, but the
amount, though?
What?
The amount of them, though?
Well, that and the construction of the multi-adapters near the switch in the garage. You know, where they're like... like bending down, kind of falling out of the plug as it is. There had to be at least 15 different plug adapters in there. You know, I mean, I'm amazed that didn't make the house catch fire.
Yeah. And it was, just a crazy amount of plugs and crazy amount of lights.
Yeah.
Have you ever put up Christmas lights like that before?
Not outside. I have inside.
Yeah.
In my first apartment, actually, I had colored Christmas lights going around the perimeter of my living room, and it looked pretty cool. It was fun. I did the whole, get up on a ladder thing, and, I can't remember if I stapled them to the wall or did I put them up with like those 3M Command. I think I used the 3M Command adhesives, but I've done something like it, but I've never done the outside Christmas lights thing. What about you? Have you done that?
No, this is my second Christmas in my home. I'm a homeowner. I live in a neighborhood quite similar to Clark's.
Yep.
But I've never strung up Christmas lights like that before. I have that same. I don't have the same ladder, but I've got a similar ladder that Clark has. It's an extension ladder. Mine is one of those gorilla ladders.
Okay.
Are you familiar with those?
No.
So it's like a ladder. It's like two ladders, like 6 foot, 7 foot tall or so.
Sure.
But there are like two ladders in one.
Is there a rope in the middle?
There's no rope.
Okay.
So you basically lift up one side of the ladder, and then there are mechanical latches that you can twist, and it latches into one of the rungs.
Okay.
And that's what holds the ladder in place. So you can extend it. And it's shaped like a V, but you can also lay it out flat, so it's shaped like so it's up and down.
Okay.
But you can also make it like L-shaped or whatever.
I think I know what you mean.
Yeah. Anyway, I use this ladder a lot. It's very heavy. It's very bulky, and it's hard to manage by yourself.
Yeah.
I was using it to paint all the rooms in my house. My living room has cathedral-style ceilings. So my ceilings in my living room go up 12 or more feet.
Yeah.
It's like very, very tall.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to paint some of the harder to reach areas by placing the ladder on the stairs.
Okay.
So remember, the ladder can be shaped like a V or even like a check mark, even inverted check mark. Mm-hmm. So I have the ladder up on the stairs, and I'm trying to stand on the ladder and reach over.
Are you on the topmost rung?
I'm not on the top. No.
Okay.
I'm not on the topmost rung.
Okay.
But I lose my balance and I fall off the ladder, and the ladder falls down on top of me.
Ooh.
Thankfully, I don't hurt myself.
Yeah.
Because the stairs are carpeted, and it's just I fall down in a way that's scary.
Yeah.
But I'm not injured.
Yeah.
And it was at that point where I said, "Fuck this! I'm paying for somebody to paint the rest of this room." So I got professionals to come out to finish the room off. But fuck ladders.
Yeah.
And fuck heights.
And that is a great segue to my next thing I want to bring up. How many times would Clark have actually had to have been sent to the ER?
Oh, man.
Because I've got at least 3 written down.
I can think of a couple times just during the sequence where he was putting up the lights.
Well, that's one of them. So, like, when he fell off the ladder while hanging the lights.
Yeah.
He fell off the roof, second story of his house.
Into the bushes.
Into the bushes.
But still.
I mean,
you can still break your neck.
Yeah, but, I mean, easily he would have had to gone to he would have had to have gone. Would have had to have gone? Yeah, okay, would have had to have gone to the ER. When he fell to the floor after the attic door was open, when he was sitting on that. First of all, why did he sit on the attic door?
Well, he was locked in. He had no idea when anybody was coming back.
Right, but of all the places to set up the projector and the screen in the attic, why did he pick the attic door to sit on?
I don't know.
That's just stupid.
I don't judge him too harshly for that.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, and then
he's
of
not
course,
very smart, Clark.
He's not. Yeah, I'll give that to you. And then, of course, the saucer sledding incident where he used his super lube from his company's food additive thing. That was so funny.
I didn't realize how much damage that saucer took.
Oh, yeah.
When Randy was picking it up later on, it was just all burned out. It was just a circle.
It was a see-through thing, yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't even... It wasn't a saucer at that point. It looked like a hula hoop. A jagged hula hoop.
I did take issue, though, with the fact that, after he got off the snowy mountain and he got into the Walmart parking lot, he just kept on going. I mean, if he had he was on a smooth bottom sled, and if he had hit concrete, he would have just slid to a halt instantly, but he just kept going along the parking lot, and he crashed into the building or something? I mean,
he crashed in like at the donation box out front.
He would have been in the ER.
Yeah.
Hands down. Like, Clark Griswold would have been in the ER at least those 3 times. Unless you've got any more you can think of.
I don't know. Were you a big sledder as a kid?
When I was younger, I was.
Yeah.
I mean, there was actually, when I lived in that house where we had the really tall ceiling and I was talking about before.
Yeah.
There was a hill. I'm trying to remember it was near one of the schools. And my mom would take my brother and I to this hill, and we would go sledding down the hill when we were younger. I remember it being, the hill was probably, 10, 15 feet long.
Yeah.
And a good solid hill to go sledding down. And like all the neighborhood kids would meet up at this hill and, go sled down the hill. So yeah, we would do that every now and then, when we had enough snow to kind of justify it. But apart from that, not really. We didn't go out of our way to go sledding, but we enjoyed it when we could.
We would go, me and my friends would go sledding whenever we could. Actually, we had a lot of those saucer sleds that they had, but they were like...
Never used one.
They were plastic discs, though, and some of them had like holes in them, so you could put rope into them.
Okay.
So you can hold and steer yourself.
Yeah.
Steer yourself. There were a couple of public hills that we would go down, which were fun and all, and we would try to build ramps at the bottom. But, they were public hills.
Yeah.
They were like outside of apartment complexes or neighborhoods or whatever.
Sure.
So lots of kids were there. The real good sledding was typically in the woods.
Yeah.
And when we were in middle school, high school age, it was time to injure ourselves. So
send yourselves.
So we would sled down hills, and then a couple of us would be at the bottom of the hill because they were like wooded paths. There were bushes on the side that you could hide in.
Yeah.
And we would hide in different parts of the hill, and you would just have to go through the gauntlet. And the goal was, if I was sliding down the hill, my buddy would be hiding in a bush on the side of the trail, and he would try to time it so he would tackle me off my sled. And there were lots of bruised ribs, bruised legs, bruised hips.
Yep.
No broken bones, Should have been broken bones.
Yeah.
Should have been concussions because we would fuck each other up. But thankfully, no serious injuries.
Wow.
Yeah.
So one of the sleds that we had that I remember, and this was so much fun, we had this, it was, think of a snowmobile, but no engine. So it had the skis, like a snowmobile. It had a handbrake, and it had a steering wheel.
What would the handbrake break?
The handbrake was basically like a piece of metal that would come down and dig into whatever you were going down. So, we would take these sleds up to the top of this long hill and then ride down. We have a steering wheel so we could, and there were skis on it. So it was like side skis and then a front steering ski.
I see.
And then
cool.
we could pull the handbrake to stop towards the end or slow down towards the end. It was a blast.
That sounds like an amazing sled.
So cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was so much fun.
Yeah.
So the other thing that I love about this movie that I have to mention are there's so many great quotable lines in this movie. I mean, the writing in this movie, I have to say, the movie as a whole falls under this too, but I think the writing especially is just genius. Pure genius. I loved the right in the beginning, hey, Griswold, where are you going to put a tree like that? Bend over and I'll show you.
Yeah.
Or,
how dare you say that to me? I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to her.
Or it's Christmas and we're all in misery.
Yeah.
Or, oh, Bethany, you shouldn't have done that. Oh, did I break wind? Yeah. Like, the writing in this is so good.
Why is the carpet wet, Todd? I don't know, Margot.
I don't know, Margot. So brilliant. This movie, and in so many regards, is just, I almost want to say the word perfect.
Jeez, I don't really.
It's so good. It's almost perfect. Almost perfect, but pretty damn close.
You're going to set yourself up to get your feelings hurt when the numbers come in.
Well, speaking of numbers, do we want to do them? Or do you have anything? Did you say you had some things you wanted to ask me?
Like they came up during the conversation, so we got a lot of that out of the way. I love Clark's rant about his boss.
Oh, yeah.
I love the surprise Christmas tree for Todd and Margot. The squirrels in the Christmas tree were amazing. The dog and squirrel part wasn't funny, but I loved the chaos.
Yeah.
And they loved how they wrecked the whole house.
Oh, yeah.
Bonus plus 20% from last year.
Damn nice.
So generous.
If it's $5,000, that's another $1,000 on top of that.
Yeah.
That's pretty damn nice.
Aunt Bethany, I think her name was.
Yeah.
Instead of saying grace, she said the Pledge of Allegiance. And at the very end, the cops were partying with everybody.
Yeah, that was funny.
She sang the Star Spangled Banner. It was so good.
Yeah.
I
feel like every family's got to have at least someone that kind of comes close to what was represented in this movie.
The last thing I have before numbers is it's another gripe with John Hughes.
Ooh.
So Uncle Buck just ended with like that smile on John Candy. We didn't see Thanksgiving dinner itself. Why does this movie come up to Christmas Eve and we don't see Christmas Day?
Probably because we didn't need to.
Why not? This is a Christmas movie.
Well, it's a Christmas movie, but so much has happened leading up to this. So how could it get any worse, or how could it, what could top what happened leading up to this point?
It all got bad, and then it resolved with the misunderstanding being explained, everybody kind of partying. But that's Christmas Eve. Like, what kind of Christmas movie doesn't cross the finish line into Christmas Day?
I was okay with that. I was totally okay with that.
You were also okay with a Thanksgiving movie not showing the culmination of Thanksgiving.
Right.
The dinner.
I was totally fine with that. You're talking about Planes and Trains?
Yeah, I'm talking about Planes and Trains.
I was totally fine with that.
It's weird to me that a Thanksgiving movie doesn't show Thanksgiving Day and a Christmas movie doesn't show Christmas Day.
Well, you never know. I mean, it could have been after midnight when the movie ended, so it was technically Christmas Day.
Judging from the stars in the sky and the way
after midnight,
and the way the moon was hanging in the sky, it was still in the 11 o'clock hour.
Oh, shut up! All right, speaking of the number 11 and the 11 o'clock hour, that's a good time to do numbers. What do you think?
Let's do it.
So numbers are the things that we rate our movie. Ow, that hurt. Numbers are we rate our movies. So we rate things on like the acting. How well did the actors convey the story? How believable were they? And then we have things like
acting.
I just talked about the acting. The script. How well was the dialogue written? And then we have the kind of visual end of things, also known as
the presentation. Were there effects? Were they practical? Were they computer generated? How were they? How well did they come across in the movie? Did they look fake? And then next we have music and sound.
The soundtrack as a whole, the sound effects, the score, the music, the goodies for your ears.
Nice.
Was that weird or was that just fun?
It was it was fun.
I liked it.
Next we have uniqueness.
Right,
How unique is this movie?
Have we seen it before?
And based off of the year it has come out.
Or earlier.
Correct.
And then, of course, the engagement factor. Does this movie keep you engaged? Are you glued to the edge of your seat? Are you dying to know what's going to happen with Clark Griswold and his clan? Or would you
rather be weeding Twitter?
Or Instagram?
Nice.
So, that being said, how about Brian? Why don't you kick it off with acting? What do you think?
I generally liked the acting. Nothing was really... There's some things that are over the top. Clark is a little over the top sometimes. Cousin Eddie was a little over the top sometimes. But I liked the acting. The actors were really good. It was a funny movie. The punchlines were delivered in a really great way. I'm going to give this a 3 for acting. I liked it. Why are you giving me that look?
I'm challenging you on this. Because the way you described it, to me, I'm waiting for you to say a 4. The way you described it was middle. The way you described it did not represent the 3, which would be like, quote, middle of the road.
I liked it.
So I'm challenging you on this.
You can challenge me on the fact that I liked it, I didn't love it, and I don't think it was perfect. I liked it.
Well, you didn't say 5, so it's not perfect.
It's not perfect.
Is it middle of the road?
So let me give you an insight on my scoring system. If I give something a 3, I liked it. It's good.
But 3. So here's the thing, though. When you have a scale of 1 to 5, 3, you've got 2 and 1 below it, and 4 and 5 above it. So 3 is literally neither liking nor disliking.
No, that's not how I view the ratings rating system.
Enlighten me.
1, I absolutely hate it. It was awful. It was dreck. 2, I didn't like it. 3, I liked it. 4, I loved it. 5, it was absolutely perfect.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you're going with 3 on this.
I'm going with a 3.
All right. Well, 4.25 for me because I do not think it was middle of the road. I think the acting was excellent. I think the casting was excellent. I loved the chemistry between everybody on screen. I think that, the people who the different family members that were represented, or the different personality traits and personality features of the different family members were representative of what you could see in a typical family. And I think the chemistry and the interplay between all of those people was excellent. So it's a 4.25 for me. Script for me is definitely going to be a 4.5. I really liked the script. I think, there were some zany aspects to it, but the story was very believable. There was that nice little John Hughes kind of, good feeling, wholesomeness to it. So I liked that aspect of it. The dialogue was funny. There were quotes that this movie is definitely quotable. and everything. So I really, really like the script. It's not perfect, but it's a 4.5 for me. Let me guess, you're going to give the script a 2.
No. The script is a 4. I think it's really, really good. It's one of John Hughes's best, some of his best work. I love the dialogue. One of my favorite things is in the beginning when they go to the Christmas tree and they're all looking up at the Christmas tree before they cut it down, and he's like, "This is great!" Like surrounded by kith and kin.
Yeah,
and then he says something else, but he lisps it out of nowhere
the
for
Grithwald
no
family Christmas tree.
Yeah, the Grithwald family Christmas tree, like for out of nowhere.
Yeah.
The why is the carpet wet, Todd? I don't know, Margot. It was so quotable.
Yeah.
And it's not just the dialogue though. It's the calamity that happens, the chaos, and how things escalate. I think this is a really well-written script. I give it a 4 even.
I agree with you. And the fact that the calamities were believable. It wasn't like Home Alone or,
Bethany wrapped up her cat.
Or even, it wasn't like Home Alone or even Planes, Trains where, things were just so outlandish that you could almost say like, yeah, that's not possible, or that's just a little bit too remote of a possibility.
Yeah.
This is a hell of a lot more plausible, I think with the way that things happened.
What would you compare it to? You could compare it to real life?
Yeah,
to another movie.
No, to real life, because I could see there's the distant aunt and uncle who are really just kind of mentally out there.
The father-in-law always breaking your balls.
Yeah, exactly. The father-in-law breaking your balls. The drunk mother-in-law. The super supportive parents. It looks. When the lights don't come on, it looks so good, even though they're not lit.
Yeah.
And then of course the Chevy Chase and Beverly D'Angelo chemistry that's there. The husband and wife, like she deals with his want to be the perfect dad kind of thing. It is totally plausible.
The twinkling lights aren't twinkling, Clark. Oh, thanks for noticing.
Yeah, exactly. So presentation, based on that, I'm giving it a solid, steady 4 because I think that, nothing offended me, obviously. There was no copious green screen. When there was effects, they were appropriate. I think that it's not perfect, but it was excellent.
Yeah. I generally liked the presentation also. The Northern Lights at the end were why are the Northern Lights there?
What Northern Lights?
The Northern Lights when they got at the very end, and the guy Uncle whatever with the toupee says, "Oh, those aren't the Northern Lights. That's the sewage light from the sewage plant."
I didn't notice that, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, anyway, I generally liked the effects. I thought they were good. It's a 3 for me.
I don't understand your scoring scheme, and I know you just explained it, but I don't get it. Music and sound.
Music and sound. I thought that the music.
Yeah, it was really good. It was a 2. It was really good.
Why are you doing this?
Just fucking with you.
Okay.
I'm just making fun of your scoring scheme. Like, I really liked it. It was really great. It's a 2 for me. Because your scoring scheme is overly harsh.
All right. I music and sound was good. I liked it. It was a 4.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that all you're saying?
That's all I have to say.
Okay.
It's real awkward right now. You're like attacking my scoring.
I'm just having fun with you.
Well, okay. Yeah. How did you feel about the music and the score?
It's a 5.
It's a 5.
I loved it. I thought, the
perfect.
The scoring itself was perfect. The music choices were excellent. Especially with when he was like up on the ladder, when he was when they were getting into kind of the shenanigans they were getting into. I thought the choices of music were great. I liked the insertion of the various Christmas songs. So I really have nothing bad to say about it.
Excellent.
So for me, it's a 5. Oh, wait a minute. I put these in the wrong place. Hold on a second. That's a 5 for me, and you said it's a 4 for you. Okay. So uniqueness. Uniqueness for me is the 3.5. we've seen Christmas movies before. This does have its own share of uniqueness, where there's kind of the family man who really wants to do the best for his family and everything. That's kind of interesting. But a lot of those tropes that are there, and actually I'm going to back it down to a 3, because a lot of those tropes are there. The kind of all the family coming together for Christmas, and things happening, but then it all works out in the end. That we've seen before. So I mean, it's going to be a 3 for me for uniqueness.
Wow. I'm basing this off of the other National Lampoon movies, where this one is just. There isn't any other movie like this. I mean, there are other Christmas movies like this before this, but this felt very, very unique to me, especially in something that you said earlier. It's realism. I give uniqueness a 4.
Cool. Right on. And then would you like to finish us out with engagement?
I was generally engaged, but this is a movie that you could easily put on and have on the background and not be totally engaged. I give it a 3.
Cool. And would you say that it is quite likely that just about anyone has seen this movie? Would you say this is something that a lot of people have seen before?
No, because really? I hadn't seen it it was a long, long time before I had seen it.
Okay.
I was probably I was out of high school by the time I saw it the first time.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting. Okay, because the reason I say that is, this, and maybe I may just be speaking from the fact that this movie is so prolific for me, and the fact that it's been a part of my childhood and my kind of growing up. But, this movie feels like it is
universal.
Yeah, it's universal. It's a Christmas classic, but at the same time, it's not something that's going to grab your attention and keep you wanting to be glued to the screen. So I'm going to echo your 3 on engagement, because I think it's something that can keep you interested, but it also is a great movie to have on in the background, especially if you're having like a Christmas party or, having some folks over to, enjoy the Christmas time festivities or something. I mean, I know I actually have I've got a playlist of Christmas movies that I would put on when I when I used to live up in New Jersey. I would have folks come over for Christmas, and I would put on this playlist of Christmas movies. And of course, this was one of I think this might have been the first or second one in the playlist. This was on there. The Ref is on there. The Ref is a funny movie too for Christmas.
I've never heard of that.
It's a great movie. A few other ones as well, but this is one of those movies that I just feel like you kind of have to watch every year, but it's not something that is going to suck you in so much as to just entertain you when you do kind of look at it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'd heard of this movie, but again, I'd not seen it until I was well on into my adult years.
Yeah.
So
cool. Well, do you have any take backsies, or do you want to make any revisions, or are you feeling good with what you got?
No, I'm good.
Cool. I'm feeling good with what I got as well. So, would you say the numbers are in?
I'd say they're in.
Fantastic. So the numbers are in, and for National Lampoons Christmas Vacation, the numbers go a little something like this. Acting 3.63, script 4.25, presentation 3.5, music and sound 4.5, uniqueness 3.5, engagement factor 3, for a total average of 3.73, which puts it right between Cadence and the Santa Claus.
Oh, wow.
So it's right below the Santa Claus, that other movie that we did for the holidays with Tim Allen in it.
Nice.
I'm feeling pretty good about that.
Yeah. Feels like a good spot.
Yeah, definitely. So that being the case, this is the end of the episode. It's the end of the season of Casual Movie Club. So I would just want to say from me to everyone, and I'm sure I speak for you too.
You do.
Merry Christmas and happy holidays to everyone that's listening. Have a wonderful Christmas season. Have a wonderful New Year's season. Be on the lookout. We've got a special episode coming out for you in the middle of January. I think it's the 9th or somewhere around there. First week of January or so, you're going to have a special coming from us. And then we're going to be back on the 20th or somewhere, whatever that Thursday, the first Thursday in the 20th region. of January, we're going to be back with Labyrinth and kicking off season 5 of the Casual Movie Club. And we're going to be back with you then. But until then, have a wonderful holiday season. Have a wonderful new year. We appreciate everybody who's been with us this far. And moving forward, we would love to have anybody else that you would like to, want to share this with people. Share our podcast with everybody. Also, feel free to join us on our Patreon. Go to our website, casualmovieclub.com. Click on the Patreon button. You can join us for as little as $1 per month, but you can help us by giving us $1 or more and help us keep the podcast going, keep the lights on, and that sort of thing. We would love to have you be a part of that as well. Keep the kind of podcast going, keep the lights on. You can give us as much or as little as you like, but the more you give, the better perks you get. You can also help by contributing to picking what movies we pick for future episodes. So check out our Patreon as well. Brian, do you have anything you want to add?
Be safe, be happy, be well.
Amen to that. So with that being said, we'll see you next year.
Bye.